Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome. So glad that you have joined us. We're just going to chat a little bit tonight about what it looks like to be a consultant for Beautycounter. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming and for giving up your time to join us tonight. I know that right now our world is just in a state of craziness, and your life at home may look just not normal or not like it usually does. So thank you so much for joining us. And I know everybody on this call can probably say that Beautycounter has been such a light in their life at a time when there's just so much uncertainty. And this has provided a constant, certain positive thing in their lives, which we're going to talk about. So thank you for being here. And just, I wanted to add too, if you were invited to this call, whoever invited you, they think really highly of you. I've been doing this for 4 years, and I probably should introduce myself. My name's Lauren Bryant, and I've been a consultant for about 4 years. And what I've seen along the way is that people that are successful with Beautycounter are busy, they're fun, they love people, they work hard. And so if someone invited you to this, you are just thought so highly of. So thank you for being here. Like I said, my name's Lauren. I joined about 4 years ago. I joined because I was hearing some information about ingredients that were in my products that were potentially harmful, that were causing hormone disruptions, potential health issues, allergies, some carcinogens. And it kind of made it like sat in the back of my mind, and I thought, that's interesting. And then I got pregnant with my third baby, who's now 3. And I thought, wow, like I read an article about how toxins can be found in cord blood. And I realized I'm putting this like, baby wash or, belly rub at that time on my belly. And I'm putting all these lotions on my skin and washing my hair, and everything, all those ingredients are seeping into my skin. It takes 26 seconds to hit my bloodstream. And then all of those ingredients are found in that little tiny baby. And so it kind of made a light bulb go off in my head. And I was like, I just want to protect my own kids. And so I did some more research and realized, oh, wow, like the baby wash I'm using, this is the Beautycounter one, but at the time, like it could potentially have formaldehyde in it. And the companies didn't have to disclose that. And it just made me think, if I learned this information, I really need to share it with others. So I joined at the most busy time in my life. Like I said, I was about to have our third baby. I had another job. I work as an educational consultant. My mom has her own business, and I present to teachers. And so it was just craziness that I even decided to do this. But I thought, you know what? I'm just going to share this information that people deserve to know. And lo and behold, I'm still here 4 years later, and I absolutely love being a part of Beautycounter. So I thought it would be fun if we kind of went around and just introduced kind of where we're at in life. I have 3 kids, 9, 6, and 3, and we live in Westchester, Pennsylvania. And like I said, I have a part-time job doing that, and I do Beautycounter. And this year I'm going to homeschool, so that's my new job, thanks to the pandemic. So that's a little bit about me. Sarah, do you want to go next?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sarah Oberholzer. I no longer have self-tanner on my hands, so I can put my hands up. My hands were so badly tanned for so long. Okay. I live in Pottstown. I've been with Beautycounter for almost 4 years. I have 3 boys. The oldest, Liam, has special needs, so that's like a job in and of itself. But Beautycounter has given me that opportunity to be able to pay for some speech, some OT, some PT, like all the extra things that it just feels so much better to be able to do that on my own for him. So that's been like an awesome journey that I didn't know that we'd be on, that I get to use my Beautycounter money for. So that's a little bit about me. Who wants to go next? Do I have to call on someone?
I'll go.
Okay.
No, I'll go. Hi, my name is Jenny Kolb, and I have been with Beautycounter for just over 3 years now. I joined for a couple of reasons. It was similar I was saying, except my baby was already out of my body. I was considering like the things I was using for him. There's something about having kids that you just like contemplate more and think more about what you're putting on their bodies and what you're using on yourself and all that. But I also at the beginning was looking for income. My husband and I, like I'd quit my full-time job when I had my son. So I was looking for a supplement to my income, and I was with another company actually at the time, and I I jumped in. I was not a skincare person. I literally have no makeup on my face right now. I just jumped in because I was really drawn to what Beautycounter is and what it stands for, and the work that the company does and that we all do as consultants. So yeah, I jumped in, and 3 years later, still loving it and still really grateful for the opportunity.
Guess I'll go. I'm Debbie Marlowe, and I wish I could be as noble as all that. I'm a massage therapist and a Whole30 coach, and I knew that I needed to change over my beauty products to safer things because I tell people what to put in their bodies all the time. And so it was really the last thing, you know, I'd done the food, I had done the household products, but it was really the last thing. And I got sucked in by the overnight resurfacing peel. And I'd love to tell you that I looked at this for income or anything, but I was just like, what? A discount? Pick me. So I signed up about a year ago, just basically for the discount and to get more products and whatnot. And as I was amassing a collection of Beautycounter, I kept reading all the emails about the activism and going to Washington and changing things. And there's not much I like more than somebody who's really ready to get out there and just change the world. And that was Greg, and that was Beautycounter. And I was like, huh. So what's it been, 2 months ago, I decided to maybe start making it more of a business opportunity. And my husband and I just sold our house, and we moved into an RV. And so we're living in 350 square feet, and we're going to hit the road one of these days here. And I just really wanted something that would help me bring in a retirement income that I could do from the road. And this has been a crazy little journey, let me tell you. Once I decided to start, it just kind of all happened and above my wildest dreams. So all I can say is there's no downside to becoming a consultant. There's just not. I mean, the worst thing that happens is you get a discount. That's it. So if you decide not to sell or whatever, that's you. You've got to do you. But I would highly recommend it. It's a great company, and they're doing wonderful things in the world.
I guess it's my turn then, huh?
It's your turn, baby.
How am I supposed to follow all that? Okay. So I just kept seeing Beautycounter kind of everywhere because I do think it's connected to our world. So I started seeing other bloggers and other coaches, posting about Beautycounter, and I'm like, man, what is this thing? And so I would look at it and I'm like, man, a lot of people are doing this. I really need a skincare regimen. I really do. And I had sold Arbonne, in the past, and I just was never consistent with it enough to really make a huge difference. And I knew I needed to get back to doing that, especially because I didn't like crow's feet that were growing by my eyes. So I wanted to do something about that. So I thought to myself, I know Debbie, I'm always one for helping out, someone I know. So if I'm going to buy it, I'm going to buy it from someone I know. But then I also knew right away from being an Arbonne consultant that, look, if you're going to do it and you're going to jump in, do it for the discount. I mean, that is just, first and foremost, right? And then the more I started reading, the more I started realizing, and I don't know what made me not figure out that there was so much toxic stuff in what we were putting on ourselves. I don't know what made me think that that was going to be any different than the food that we ate. But until you really see it in front of your face, you just don't realize how bad that it is. And you start looking at products and you're going, holy cow, I just bought a big thing of that shampoo, and that shampoo is not good. Like, I'm going to throw it out. So, I go 10 toes in, usually when I do something, I want to be 10 toes in. And the more I read, the more I was like, look, it's just like Whole30. I'm going to put my dollars with companies that I think are making a difference in the world, because that is the only way that we can control what's going on is to vote with our dollars. And so I'm like, I'm going to vote with my dollars with this company. It was apparent right away. And the more videos I start watching, the more I read. I mean, every single day I'm learning something that just shocks me as to the level of commitment to really make a difference and to make a change. So we have this, you know, look good, feel good, do good. Well, isn't that it, right? And I've never been so confident not wearing makeup, which is the funny part. I love the makeup now, but now I just put it on for fun. I'm not always now I'm more comfortable going out in public without makeup, and because my skin looks good and I'm seeing the results. So it's not just, you know, it's not just a bunch of malarkey. It really, the products work. You know, I just told these guys earlier that, you know, having the charcoal mask to put on a bug bite, you know, to get rid of the irritation, like any little thing, and anything that has that kind of good stuff in it is going to be so much better for your body. And for me, you know, I live here in Florida with my husband and our little dog Kalua, and I'm transitioning out of a career that I've had for over 20 years and looking for the next thing. And this ties into what I want to do, which is, you know, in my own little way, make the difference that I can make. So for me, you know, it made sense. And thank God for Sarah and Lauren convincing us to go, you know, 10 toes in and do the pop-up right away, because I never thought I would do anything more than use the discount and, you know, get it for a few friends. And just seeing that I really didn't feel like I sold per se. When I did my pop-up, I just told them what I knew, but I felt like the amount of interest that there was, and how little I had to say it to really make people understand that this is a good thing, was the amazing part. And I respond to teams, and I'm a team sports person. And so when we have this team like we do, you know, on this call, like, to me, that's what really makes me, you know, want to be a part of it, is that we all have the ability to help each other with the way this is all set up.
That's so awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. We touched on so many things, and I know a couple of us talked a little bit about being proud of the company and who we are. So Jenny, would you just give us like a 30-second, 1-minute little summary of who we are as a company and what Beautycounter's mission is? Am I frozen?
Yeah.
Yes,
go.
absolutely. So Beautycounter, our mission, can you hear me?
Mhm.
Is it working? Okay, so Beautycounter's mission is first and foremost to get safer products into the hands of absolutely everyone. And we do that by disrupting the marketplace. So what we're trying to do is not just make our own safe products, because let's face it, the world doesn't need another beauty brand. What the world needs is a brand that's going to make a difference. And so we spend our time not only talking about products that are amazing and high performing and that we love, but we also advocate for change in Washington, and we're transparent. We're a B corporation. And so we have really high standards, and our goal is to move the entire industry forward toward clean.
I love that. Love it. Thank you so much.
That's a great commercial.
Yeah, I wish I could be like that concise.
Yeah.
Great. So, I mean, like Jenny said, we are a movement, and we, you know, are voices that are educating people. So I thought it would be fun to just interview some of these guys, because everyone is kind of from a different walk of life. I know they kind of said a little bit about themselves. So first, I just want to ask, what were some of your major hesitations before becoming a consultant? What made you stop and think like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this? What made you hesitate? Does anybody want to take the first answer?
I'll
Go ahead.
I made it a personal mission, because as a massage therapist, I got hit up for doTERRA, Arbonne, you know, everything under the sun. And I made it a personal mission not to do any direct sales at all, period, end of report. And even when I purchased my first piece of Beautycounter, the overnight resurfacing peel, I was like, okay, I don't know about this because it's multi-level marketing or it's direct sales. And but like I said, the more I saw what was going on, the more I realized that's why it's direct sales, because it's people moving it. It's not, a company's not going to move it. a company is not going to make those changes like moms are going to make those changes. You know, if you want something done, give it to the busy women. And so it made sense to me. And then I was also watching a video that Greg did, and she said, you know, when she started this company, she hadn't even thought of it in that respect. And somebody said, this is the way you do it. And it made so much sense to me. And, you know, I'm now responsible for what I do. I don't have to talk to any bosses or anything like that. It's all on me. So it just made a lot of sense to me. And it's my own gig.
Yeah, that's a common hesitation that people have. And one thing they don't realize is that we are what's called direct retail. So one aspect of our business is, you know, direct selling person to person. It's the same as like, hey, I just bought an amazing vacuum. You have to go try this. Like if there's any Dyson lovers out there and you've had a Dyson and you say, oh my gosh, I love this cordless vacuum. It is amazing. Go try it. Or if you found the best juice bar down the street and you're telling your neighbor, go get a smoothie from such and such because you will not be disappointed. I want to know. I want someone to tell me where to go out to eat. I don't want to try a new restaurant that like nobody's been to. It's the same thing. You're just sharing what you love. But a lot of people, you know, have that hesitation and they don't realize that direct retail means we sell our products multi-channel. So one channel is through consultants. One channel is through brick and mortar stores, and we have so many. We have one in New York City, one in the Hamptons, one in Nantucket. I could go on, Colorado. You can send your people to the store and they can give your name and you can get credit for the purchase. And then we have partnerships with companies such as J. Crew, Target, Goop. We have one going on with Sephora right now that brings brand awareness and just educates people about ingredient safety. So it's really, I didn't know this, Debbie, when I started. Like I was like you in that I thought I'm never going to do anything like that. I mean, honest, like I was like totally put off by it. And then I realized this is totally different. I've never heard of direct retail. Like this doesn't follow the, you know, the normal path that those direct selling companies follow. So I'm so glad you brought that up. So, okay. Anybody else have a different hesitation than the direct sales? Anyone else?
I mean, I can.
Go ahead, Sarah.
No, go.
I was just gonna say I hear a lot, and I was in the same camp, like that. I don't know a lot about skincare or makeup, and so therefore I don't think this is for me. And I said this earlier, like my skincare regimen before I started Beautycounter was like washing my face with my bar soap in the shower. Period. That was it. There was no moisturizer. There was no serums. Like I didn't do any of that, and so I'm just going to say you don't need to know everything about skincare. You don't need to know everything about makeup. If you want to make a difference in the world and you care about people and you care about sharing and you are looking to just like make healthier changes, like the rest will come. You will learn. Or if you don't, there's resources. Like you don't have to be an expert to do this, and you don't have to be a makeup artist or an esthetician or anything like that to be able to do this.
Love it. Sarah?
My hesitation was just time. Like I'm already doing so many things. Like, do I really need to add in like something else? And when I signed up, I only had 2 kids, and it was just a lot of going on. But what I found is that I was able to fit this in like the pockets of my day where I was sitting waiting for the bus to come and could shoot a couple messages out to people asking for them if they want to try samples or want to host a pop-up, whatever it might be. My husband and I probably watch less TV now than we used to 4 years ago, but that's probably fine. It's just like those chunks of the day, and it's really, I mean, this is not like full-time hours for me at all. And I think that was my biggest hesitation, is that I didn't know when I was going to do this. And I find the time.
Yeah. That's actually my next question. Unless, did anybody else have another hesitation they wanted to share? I don't want to miss anyone.
I didn't hesitate. So, when I first figured out, like I told you, I was 10 toes in. I knew already I needed that I wanted that consultant discount right away.
Yep.
She wanted that collection. She wasn't letting anything step in her way.
That was a good move. When you see something good, you know it, right? So that was the next question. I'm so glad you shared, Sarah. How do you fit this into your life? And I know she shared just kind of as a mom where she's carting kids back and forth, and I know, going to speech therapy and going here and there. Does anyone else want to share what it looks like for them? Maybe Christy, how do you fit it in? I know you have another job and you're a Whole30 coach. What does it look like for you to fit this in?
It probably wouldn't have been as easy if we didn't have the pandemic. So this is probably another silver lining of something negative that's going on in the world, is that this stuff has come out of it. Because if I was working full time and in the office every single day, it would be pretty difficult to do at least the magnitude of work that I'm doing with it now. But now, because I'm home for the most part and only in there a few days, and when I'm traveling it's a little difficult, but when I'm home I've literally got hours of the day that are just mapped out, that those are Beautycounter hours, basically quote unquote office hours. It doesn't mean if I don't think of something a little bit later on in the day I don't do it. But I think Sarah told us early on, if you can just do one thing per day, just one thing, whatever it is, that you're making strides. So I've kind of held true to that. Even when I was on the road, I did at least one thing during that day, when I was on the road. And so I think that's the way you do it, however it fits into your life, if that's making sure you have hours, whatever your personality is. And, for me, it's easy. Once I schedule it, it's on the books, I'm doing it. But for some people it's not that easy. So it's just about, whatever way you can fit it into your life. But for me, it's just, there's Beautycounter time scheduled every single day now.
Awesome.
I've taken my Instagram. I'm pretty, I guess the word is authentic on my Instagram stories. I'm always sweaty and wet and walking around with dogs and everything. And people are always, asking me questions on Instagram. And so I'll just answer them back and say, hey, I'm throwing some samples in the mail. Do you want me to send you some? And they'll say, sure. I'm like, give me your address. And my goal for this month is to send out 5 samples a day to people. Because I thought, the products sell themselves once you get them in somebody's hands. I mean, Christy was like, what the heck is all this stuff that I bought? And then 3 days later, she's like, oh my God. So, we talk about the opportunity, but what we're forgetting here is they are high performing products. I used to own a salon, and I can tell you that what is in the normal beauty products that your esthetician is putting on you is chemical after chemical after chemical. And so this is something that I can feel good about, of course, and share with everybody. So just, pockets of time, wherever I would spend time scrolling Instagram, I take half of that time and just start reaching out. And also, Beautycounter has, when you become a consultant, there's a thing called Behind the Counter, and it is wonderful. They have a whole course that you can take, in 5-minute chunks to teach you about the company and the products and the opportunities. And they also have, they basically tell you when to call people and who just got their order in and, who you should follow up with. So, I mean, it's really, I hate to use the word idiot proof, but I am going to use that word because it's so interactive and simple. So, it makes it easy to do something every day like Christy was talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, what was surprising to you guys? What was what surprised you after you joined? Did anybody have anything for that?
I think it's just how many people were just hook, line, and sinker without, again, doing much. I never thought in a million years inviting, some friends and family to a pop-up was going to, lead to the amount of interest that it did. I mean, I was shocked at the number of orders and how many people have reordered and said, I want to add this. And it's just, it wasn't a hard sell is my point. And, obviously it's easy for me to want to sell to the people I love and care about first, because those are the people you want to keep safe, first and foremost. So for me, it just gives me satisfaction to know that, my friends, they're going to buy these products. That's the easy part of Beautycounter. Everybody needs the products that Beautycounter sells. We're not selling refrigerators that get replaced in, 4, 5, 6 years. We're selling things that people use every single day. So I think that part makes it easy, but I didn't realize how much it would catch on so quickly.
Well, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because I didn't realize, like, the products are consumable, so you're selling someone a foundation, they fall in love with the foundation, they're going to get on your website and they're going to reorder the foundation. And yes, like you said, Debbie, a good consultant is one that like reaches out and says, hey, we're running a promo, or I know it's about time that you might run out of your foundation, but I'll, truth be told, like, sometimes I forget, or life happens and I don't follow up, and then all of a sudden I wake up and there's an email like, Julie reordered her foundation, like she ran out, which is awesome because I didn't have to do anything, and they're just reordering and stocking up. So I know that was surprising for me. Does anyone else have anything else that was surprising?
I was very surprised at that I liked the customer service aspect. Like, I like putting somebody's orders in for them, because then I know that I'm getting them, I'm getting them the 20% new client discount. I'm getting them the Band of Beauty, so that they then have more money to spend, more credit to spend. And especially during COVID, during my pop-up, I reached out to people I haven't talked to in a while because they wanted to make an order. And, I was happily on the phone for an hour just playing catch up and then putting an order in. So that was kind of surprising to me. I was like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. And so you catch up and see how everybody's doing and just kind of go from there. So that was really nice.
Cool. Any other surprises?
I will.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I will say, when you sign up to sell something, or you sign up to be part of a company, you don't really know what you're getting yourself into, and you expect sales and reconnections, but there's definitely there's something more that happened like in my life that I feel like I definitely didn't even anticipate. And so when you become a consultant, you join this, not only this movement, but you join this community of like-minded men and women, and the support from the people that you meet, whether they're on your team or they live halfway across the country, it's just unbelievable. And so I feel like as a result of being part of Beautycounter, I've grown as a person. I feel like I've learned so much. I feel like my social circle has expanded in ways that I never thought it would. Even outside of Beautycounter, I feel more confident. And I feel like Beautycounter cares about us as consultants. We aren't just numbers to them. And every time I go to something that Beautycounter sponsors, I feel noticed and appreciated. And I don't think that's very common. And so I'm really grateful for our company that treats us that way, or the friends that I've made that have become some of my best friends. My mentor, Sarah, is my mentor, and I did not know her prior to this, and we are really close friends now. So there's so much more that you get out of this experience than just selling products. And so I cannot say enough good things about being a part of this whole entire community.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, anything you wish you had done differently?
I wish I wouldn't have waited a year. I wish, and it's okay because I was learning as I was going, but yeah, I really wish I wouldn't have waited a year.
It's so hard, to give people a vision about what this could be for them, and whether it is new friends or a community or a paycheck. It's it's so hard to tell people what it could be. But
I actually saw Beautycounter launch about 7 years ago, and I looked really hard at it. But I told you I had that personal mantra, and I thought, and I'm not one to tell tales on myself, but I can spot a trend. Typically, I'm pretty good at that. And I didn't. I'm busy now. I don't really. And it popped up, 2 years later, and I looked at it really hard again, and I just kept. Now's the best time to jump in.
yeah, we're so glad you did. So glad. Okay, so last question, and Jenny, I know you touched on this. I loved your answer, but the last one was, what has this added to your life, And what has this given you since you jumped in, as Christy says, 10 toes in? What has this given you guys?
I can share. I feel like I jumped in thinking that I would get a personal discount, which every consultant gets a discount on all their own products. And if I made enough to pay for our products that month, I would be happy. So my like expectations were like really down here. And just to speak to like the income financial side, I didn't know. Yeah, I'm just surprised at where I've come from that point of actually making money with this, and not just, you know, $200 here or there. Like, it's actual income that we can use, like I said, for speech or for therapy or whatever it might be. It's actually helping our family. And it's something I didn't know that I needed to like have my own thing. Like, I have my kids and I do other things, but this is something that I really needed to have for myself. And like Jenny said, it makes you like just improve in other areas of your life, and we're always evolving into a better version, but this has just taught me so much about myself, like Jenny had said, and then also just finding like safer ways to swap in other areas. Like Debbie, you had said you were done and this was your last like thing, but I feel like this was just the like starting point for me to like look into other things that I thought I was doing pretty well in, but really, you know, there's always need for improvement there. So that was kind of a lot of answers, but that's my answer.
The beauty counter community is like the best place to find safe swaps. I literally, like, all you have to do is send one message and
Yep.
you get like 27 suggestions and they're all amazing. Like, it's like a side perk that is like so helpful, because it's so, last week I was looking, I needed to replace my sheets for my bed. And like, so I started Googling and like searching for organic sheets and like vetting all these companies, and I'm reading all of their mission statements and I'm looking, because, you know, I never did that before, but now I care about it. I don't want to sleep in like flame retardants, and I don't know whether they're legit or not. And I have no idea. And every company has a statement about their organic cotton being sustainable. And I'm like, but I don't believe all of them. You know, they're not all good. So I sent a message and I got a recommendation, and like, I trust these other consultants because we've all done research and we all help each other. And it's really, really great to know, like, you know, helping with making some of those decisions.
Like being with a group of biohackers. Oh, I guess I could go, huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
What was the question again?
What has this given you? What has this added to your life that maybe you didn't expect to get out of it?
All right, well, I already said that I just kind of, you know, was hanging out for a year, and I made in my first month selling what I wanted to make a year from now in my very first month selling, and that blew my socks off. Christy was being very humble when she was saying all these people wanted to buy things. We both had a phenomenal month, and I was like, okay, if this is what I can do when I apply myself a little bit, this is awesome, because maybe we can retire a little bit earlier if we have, you know, we have a certain number in mind that, you know, we kind of need to make in order to hit the road. And that would be, if I could pull that in every month, we could go now. So, you know, not to be, I'm certainly not all about the money, but that definitely surprised me, you know, but it's just nice that it all comes in this pretty package. So.
Yeah, and it's important. I always say, like, our time, like, nobody has extra time, right? All of us are so busy, and nobody wants to jump into something unless you know you're going to be compensated for it and that it's worth your time. So, yeah, I mean, that the financial side of things is definitely a huge blessing too. Um, am I missing anything? Christy, did you have anything to add about what it's given you?
Yeah, I think, you know, for me, again, it's this year and, you know, having my company move and knowing I have to find a different thing. I just, you know, was writing about this yesterday, and I said, I always believe everything happens for a reason. And even though I don't, I don't speak down to my job, I just knew that something was missing. And the more I did Whole30 and the more I start to do this, the more I think Debbie will relate to this, because in our health coaching class, we talk about making our own, ripple effect in the world. And, to me, this is the coaching, the health coaching, the Whole30 and the Beautycounter. It's allowing me to make my jobs, and my passions the same thing, which I haven't, been able to always do. So for me, it's a amazing level of satisfaction to be able to do this, to help people, after 23 years of just, putting on TV shows. This is just a different way to make, to make a change in the world. So to me, it's about being able to invest all the time and effort into something that, I think is so worthwhile.
And it feels good to make a difference, right? I feel like that's what I kept hearing you say. Like, it feels so good to know that, not only are you getting compensated for your time, but what you're doing is truly making a difference and making a change. And that's what truly matters. So, yeah, thank you guys for being here. I'll just, this has given me more than I could ever have asked for. I didn't expect to have the friendships that I do from this. And if I talk too long about it, I'll cry, because if Beautycounter dies tomorrow, which I promise you it's not, we're growing immensely and very quickly. And I feel like the pandemic just made our company grow even more, which is so interesting to me. I looked at my husband when the world shut down, literally on that Friday night, when they were like, oh, you can't come back to school on Monday. And by the way, you can't come to work. And it was like, what is going on? And I said to Jeff, we've worked 4 years to build a business. And I was like, well, there goes Beautycounter. Like, there goes all my work. How am I going to do this if I can't be person to person with people? Like, that's the whole point of this. And he was like, let's just see what happens. Like, he talked me off my ledge, as he normally does. And, mark my word, we took a little bit of a dip in, I forget what month it was. But since then, all Beautycounter has grown so much. Every single month, more consultants join, more people are worried about health and wellness and safety, and they are voting with their dollars, and they're choosing to support companies that are making a difference. And I'm shocked by just the growth of the company. So it's the most fantastic time to join, and we would love to have you. And I promise you'll be so surprised by what this could give you. It's given me so many friends and just has enriched my life, and all these girls too, so much. So we'll shut off the recording, and then we'll take some questions for those of you that are on the call with us. And like I said, reach out to the person that invited. If you're watching the recording, reach out to the consultant that invited you, ask questions, share your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. Bye, guys.